They're up in the ITM Cup Championship Division. Northland off to an okay sort of a start with a win and a loss. North Harbour, Richard Turner, handed a terribly difficult schedule to start with, playing their 4th game in 14 days.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy for them, Tony, and they've really rolled all their eggs into this Northland basket by resting a number of their leading players midweek against Wellington, not expecting to win that. That proved the case. So it's a very, very big night for North Harbour tonight, and they've put themselves under a lot of pressure looking for that win, Tony.
Well, Northland preparing to come out. We'll get a word on the conditions from someone who played for both of these provincial teams, former All Black Ian Jones.
Yeah, thanks very much, Tony. Yep, foot in both camps here. Conditions could not be better for this local derby matchup, Tony. The southeast wind that did play a factor in the curtain raise between Westlake Boys and St Kent's. St Kent's winning that game will not play its part. However, North Harbour team a little soft underfoot, so I'd recommend the long studs.
Well, minimal changes to the Northland team after their win over Southland. William Wetton and Rod Abel, the only ones missing from the starting 15 there. Jake Putinatai taking over at number 8, so it's a boost to have him back. They'll look to get a bit of ball, a bit more ball than they managed off the Southland pack last week. If they can do that, Richard, look out.
Oh, they certainly will be with Thautau and Butha. Rennie Ranger, we know his danger at centre. And Mathalai Tori, the other Fijian winger, Tony. So plenty of danger if they can get their fair share of the pill.
Just looking forward to seeing some of that talent in action as they head out onto the field. And looks like Jake Putinatai given the honour of leading the side out today. There's a couple of milestones in this game. We'll tell you about the other one shortly. But this is Ben Seymour, the Australian, calling the shots in the number 10 jersey, taking over from Ash Moiki, who's done such a great job in the last couple of years. He's a good general, good goal kicker. I say it's really just a matter of them getting a bit more possession. They beat Southland, but they had to really battle. North Harbour already up against it. 2 games in the first 5 days, now 2 in the space of 4, taken apart by counties, but they did show real spirit to fight back after bad starts in their games against Auckland and Wellington. Coach Liam Barry shuffled things around a bit. Cody Ray moving into first 5 from fullback. They've had a few injuries to deal with at lock, but they have got a solid front row led by skipper James Parsons and All Black prop Ben Afiaki, who'll square off with fellow Māori All Black Bronson Murray. And James Parsons it is who'll lead them out. There's Ben Afiaki behind him. He'll play his 50th today. Plenty of talent in this side. They just need to make a better start than they have.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Tony. And so no doubt that'll be their focus today, just letting sides get away from them too early and not being able to chase them down.
And there is Ben Afiaki, who will head off to Hamilton tomorrow to join the extended All Black squad. Preparations for next weekend's test match against the Pumas in Hamilton. Playing his 50th ITM Cup match here this evening. Chris Smith, who's been in good form, source of line-out ball, experienced player now, Chris Smith. And of course, we always look forward to watching that man, Rennie Ranger, in action. Recent head-to-heads, well, mixed success. Exciting game last year, won by Northland. North Harbour the previous 2, and as you can see, they've all been close, and they've tended to be high-scoring as well. Chris Pollock is the referee for tonight's match, and he'll be assisted by Glenn Newman and Michael Winter on the sidelines, and James Slater in the TMO box. So it's a cool evening, but it's a lovely, fine evening. Excellent surface here, and the prospects of an entertaining match. Northland against North Harbour in the ITM Cup Championship Division. And it's Ben Seymour, the man from the Western Force in Australia, who kicks off. And I hasten to add, with Richard Turner alongside me, that he was born in Napier. And already onto the left foot of Francis Saley, and a mistake from fullback Fidia Meltzer. Ball really going straight down his throat and straight to ground. So there's a little break early on for the home team.
Well, they'll be looking for these little bits like this, Tony, to get themselves into the match early. We talked about the slow start that the slow starts that North Harbour have had in their first 3 matches. Certainly don't want one tonight. So they'll get an opportunity, good opportunity too. Not bad field position, just inside their own half. And they've parked their entire back line to the right of the scrums. You mentioned the front row, so they've got a very good front row, so they should at least have parity at scrum time, North Harbour, and they'll certainly look in this area to build some dominance. Pretty even weight-wise are these 2 packs.
Erwin Finau having to pack in at lock for Harbour. He's really more a loose forward. But they've had injury problems at lock. There it goes. It's a nice solid start. Fihaki off the back, and then Bryn Hall moves it on. Cody Ray, and a little bit of space for Nuffy Tuitavaki on the right wing. A brilliant player, Tuitavaki. We talked about the threats in the Northland back line. Well, there certainly are some in the Harbour backs as well. Now Parsons. An opportunity for Harbour to make the early running here. Ben Afiaki hitting it up, and the arm goes out from Chris Pollock, so they've got an advantage. Hall going off for a little scoot, and they'll come back for the penalty. So this could be an opportunity for first points here at North Harbour Stadium with Northland offside.
And Tony, they win that advantage with winning the contact zone, so getting up over the game line. Because they do that, Northland didn't retreat a couple of yards that they had to get themselves back on side. And this is the start of it. This is the depth of the backline move here, Richard. Really impressive for North Harbour.
Yes, it did create some opportunity, the overlap for Tuitavaki outright, and here's where the infringement came, just jumping the gun off the defensive line, were the Northland defensive line.
And there's Nuffy Tuitavaki. Just an interesting little shuffle. James Semple dropping back to fullback. Cody Ray coming into the pivot position, and he's going to take over the goal kicking. About 37 metres out. Looks pretty good. And first points go to North Harbour.
Yeah, well, as I said, Tony, North Harbour made some changes midweek against Wellington. Cody Ray was one of them, brought into the starting lineup at 10. John Elrick had been doing a good job in the 10 jersey. Cody Ray came in and did a very good job. And so they've decided to roll with him. Had the perfect kicking record last week, and he started off well here again tonight.
So Seymour will restart. He's been lined up with the Western Sharks in Dargaville. Been around a bit, has Seymour. And the kickoff goes deep. Tuitavaki eludes the first tackler. It was Dan Pryor getting up, trying to close him down. Well, adventurous stuff here from Harbour. And we've said that often enough over the years too, but it's not tidy. Probably said that too. Always been a team renowned for giving it a go. James Semple with the clearance, and good contact he made too.
Tony, you might have said all of that in your time, but you've always said it with a smile and a twinkle in your eye, just like the players out there that have that adventure.
Well, yes.
I don't think the adventure was certainly the intention, Camo. They just, as you mentioned, they were deep, and Saeli, they were looking for him for the left foot clearance, as they are very good at the front of the line out here, North Harbour.
That was Greg Pleasant's take around the front of the line out. Now Jordan Manihira, who's been impressive in their early matches. Ray, and now a big wide pass from Saeli, but it went forward. Well, they'd created a bit of room on the outside. Raikuna was there, James Semple was there, but the pass from Francis Saeli just drifting forward out of the hand, and so Chris Pollock has brought them back for a scrum. Here it is.
Well, the opportunity was there, the big wind-up from Francis Saeli, but yeah, well, they've been playing with depths on that occasion. They were up too flat over the advantage line, causing the forward pass from Saeli. But you mentioned the talent that this Northland side have in their back line. As you mentioned, Tony, plenty of that excitement in the North Harbour back line with Saeli, back from his extended All Black duties. Peter Aki in the centre jersey, Raikuna and Tuitavaki. So it all promises to be a beauty.
Well, backs lined up. There's Penny Thaldal away on the left. Mathilai on the right, but they go to the left. And Seymour Carpenter, who's a very solid player in the number 12 jersey. They get a penalty. Greg Pleasance Tate it was. In fact, no, it was Zach Judge. You see Zach Judge, the open side flanker, wearing the socks of the East Coast Bays Club. And leaving his feet.
Yeah, leaving his feet, not sure he came in through the boot too, and as Chris Pollock takes a bit of a... Did well though, Polly. Did well to stay on his feet, well done.
Yeah, he's got the dancing shoes on.
Two very impressive goal kickers on display this afternoon. You meant Cody Ray, well, he's 6 from 6. This bloke here, Ben Seymour, 9 from 10. 90% by my maths. There it is, confirmation from our graphics team, thank you.
And your math teacher at Carmo High will be very pleased right now, Carmo.
Tapping himself on the back.
Yes, best 3 years of Ian Jones' life, with a 3 spent in the 5th form at Carmo High School. There's the kick, it's very high from Ben Seymour, and over it goes, so it's 3-all.
Oh, I get the feeling, Tony, 7 minutes into this one, that this might be very much the way this match will go. Tit for tat, score for score. Cody Ray also the colours of East Coast Bays.
Smith got up chasing it, but Tom Murday, another Australian-based player, the Queenslander, taking it down. Man in the number 4 jersey. Harbour trying to wrap him up here. Comes back to Takalua, the halfback, drifting the kick down and coming forward, not taken cleanly. And so it's there again for Northland, the Taniwha on halfway. Takalua reaches in, away it goes to Seymour, and trying to thread the kick through, but it's rebounded nicely for Bryn Hall, who hacks it away downfield, didn't quite kick it where he wanted to. And in the end, Fidia melts his back and he tries to take them on. And he's almost got himself into a bit of trouble here, but eventually they're able to get it back to Seymour. Now Raikuna has this. And Cody Ray dropping back to the fullback position. And now it's Peter Arkey, who's a very powerful runner. Got straight through the tackle of Ross Wright, the Northland hooker, and he is down. Ray taking the line on, and Hall just having a little look. Rennie Rangers drop back almost in a fullback position at the moment. The referee has the arm out. Ross Wright's got back to his feet, but he's not all that happy at the moment. They'll come back for the penalty.
On a funny type of way, Tony, I don't want to see the replay of that because I'm a tight forward and I feel for Ross Wright. He doesn't want to see the replay, but come on, let's show it. Peter Arkey dropping the shoulder. The big Wellsford hooker from Northland. Come off second best. Here we go. One for the backs.
Oh, Peter Arkey, we saw him in the New Zealand Sevens team, Richard. He is such a powerful runner.
Yeah, absolutely, and clearly full of fitness too after being in that environment. But I tell you what, when you're a defender, what you don't want to do, Tony, is what Ross Wright does. He plants himself and actually stops. So he allows Peter Arkey to continue with his momentum and then shuts off his own. When you're a big bloke, you've got to keep going forward because you've got to meet going forward. You can't just stop like that. That was what Ross Wright got wrong on that occasion. And Cody Ray, will there be no issues with distance for Cody Ray? He'll go off, probably have the old concussion test, Carmo.
Yep, a couple of taps of the head. He's gone up the tunnel here. So he's got his 5 minutes spell.
Well, the kick certainly had the distance, not the direction, just drifting away to the right. Matt Moulds is the replacement hooker for Northland for the moment. Matthew Moulds in his first season for the Taniwha comes on, wearing jersey 16. So 3-all the score, but All the early running coming from the Harbour team. Now little chip kick through and on. It's an absolute beauty too from Francis Sailey. Just couldn't quite make contact with it. Now he makes the tackle on Ranger, but he's got it away to Moulds, the new man. And here's a first touch for Rapini Thal. Goes down rather spectacularly, and the arm goes straight out from Chris Pollock. High tackle, might have milked it a little, but Northland carried on. The infield pass there was from Dan Pryor, now just over the ball. Takalua to Seymour, and now Jack Ram.
Release, tackler!
Again, the arm goes out, and that'll be a penalty. Not rolling away, the call against North Harbour. They had the advantage, but the ball dropped.
You know this one.
Has a little word to James Parsons. Read the high tackle on Thao and Butha earlier. Get a look at that now. He just comes across there with the lazy arm, does Parsons up around the neck. He got the word from Chris Pollock, so no harm done, and Northland will take some easy yards into Harbour territory.
And Richard, this good Northland crowd that's come down, hour and a half, 2 hours down the motorway, on high alert when Rapini Thao touched the ball. They want that excitement machine to be involved as much as they can.
So Moulds, the ball's been knocked away by North Harbour. Parinatai coming through's lost it forward. This was a bit of a problem for Northland in their game against Southland. They did well to win it in the end, but just struggled to keep consistent possession coming. And you can see there, good effort from Erwin Finau getting up.
Well, it's been one of the few highlights for Harbour is their ability at line-out time, Tony. Being one of the better line-outs, went toe-to-toe with Wellington, who also had a very good line-out going into that midweek game, so they went at each other, which kind of spoilt their stats a little bit, but they're one of the better line-outs going around, and that bloke hopping down in the second row, Chris Smith, one of the better line-out forwards going around. It's Pleasant Tate. Looks to go about his work in the front row.
Fine! Sit!
Just a little pat there from referee Pollock to say to Hall, get the ball in, and Sailey, beautiful offload to Peter Arkey. Real possibilities in that combination. And now here come North Harbour. The pass from Sailey just touched on the way through. Well, you do have to like Francis Sailey's ability to pass the ball, long passes either way. But that one, rather than the pass being thrown forward, I wonder whether there might have been just a North Harbour hand on it as it went through. But I like the look of this combination, Richard. 12 and 13.
Yeah, absolutely. Both similar, powerful runners. They're taking the ball to the contact. Francis Sailey, talk about his ability to throw the long passes. Also, when he gets into contact, to continue the drive. Early handing error stat there, 2-3 Harbour. A couple of those from the Sailey wide balls.
Well, it was definitely the pass that was called forward. No one touched it. It might have been a little bit unlucky there.
Sit!
Hooked under pressure by Northland, but they have it, and they bring Rapini Thao. They know he's lost it. Sailey has it. So here's another opportunity for Harbour, and quick hands, they get it away to David Raikuna with the fend. Ranger comes back at him, fires it back in field, and it's Mathilai, the right winger, who picks it up and then runs into a very solid tackle. Back it goes to Seymour, and he kicks long but not out. Semple takes it, flings it across field to Tui Tavaki. Now goes up in support of Peter Arkey as he makes his way forward. Now Zach Judge moving it on, and they've got room out here on the left too. Coming for Hall. Away goes to Ray. Quick hands pass, and Smith the ball goes squirting out the back. So Harbour will have to start again. Semple takes it back to halfway. And again, a semblance of an overlap here. Sailey just delaying the pass nicely to Tui Tavaki. And taking some difficulty to stop too. Good run forward from Tuitavaki. Now Parsons thought about throwing the big wide pass, went into contact. Out Saili, who looks a real handful at the moment. Hall calling players to his left. Pleasance Tate is there. And now the pick and go from Viliami Fihaki. Afeaki. Pleasance Tate with the pass. Pulled in by Ray. Now Raikuna away to Aki, stepping. Harbour looking to keep the ball alive. Pleasance Tate. Tackle made by Pryor. And a lovely run forward now from Manihira. Offload to Smith. Harbour really threatening here. This is a great passage of play. Can they keep it going? Afeaki again. Just 5 metres from the line. Hall calling players to the left. Parsons with the pick and go. Just short of the line. Fihaki over it. He can't get there. Hall now, big wide pass. Money hitter in at the corner. Well, that's a tremendous build-up from North Harbour. They went 16 phases and they got the reward for their patience.
Well, the focus going into this, Tony, was about North Harbour getting a good start, and it's been good, very good. It's been exactly what they wanted, and Jordan Manihira is the bloke that scored the try, but you mentioned 16 phases. Is very good continuity from North Harbour. Tuitavaki made the big inroads here, but always good support, recycled the ball, some very, very good phase options from North Harbour, and eventually they got close to the line. And the issue here for North Harbour, I could hear it in the ground mics, is the Northland players were calling Mathilau in, and so he came off the wing that created the space for Manihira, and he finished it nicely.
Two big factors there, Richard Turner. They played with width and they kept their width. North Harbour, and the man from Westlake Boys High, Jordan Manihira, local man. Cody Ray, tough kick. Is going to be wide. That is good reward for holding the ball for 16 phases, Tony. Now the finish in that left-hand corner.
Well, the key, not only were they maintaining it through multiple phases, but they were getting some good go forward as well. And that's the key for North Harbour.
Richard, just quickly before Northland kick this ball off, is another blow to Ross Wright's reputation. He is off for the remainder of the game with that concussion.
So Matthew Moulds will have to finish the job up. Early introduction to the game. Seymour with the restart. And Finau, who was also involved in that build-up. He was the man who took it down. Tuitavaki playing with a bit of confidence here, North Harbour. And a nice little pick and go here from Fihaki, the number 8. Hall. And stabbing the kick downfield, Cody Ray. Here's Meltzer, and he brings it out. Here's Rupeni. Generously listed in the program at 108 kgs. He's not protected that ball. And a steal and a turnover here for Harbour, although it's gone loose. They've still got it. And Judge now taken by his opposite number. Parsons, a little show of the ball as he went through, offloading it. They're keeping the ball alive beautifully. Raikuna going to run out of room, but cleverly keeps the ball in play. Parsons again. Afeaki goes in to help him out. Hall away to Ray, and now Pleasance Tate. Nice straight run from the big prop. And numbers away to the right here too. Saili with the dummy. The ball back in field's been snapped up by Tuitavaki. Well, Pollock thought about blowing, and in the end he did. So a bit of relief here, and Rennie Ranger takes it, and off he goes. Ranger sees off the first tackle, gets it away to Rupeni. Rupeni Thou. Sample coming across, they're queuing up in field. He still knows his way to the try line.
Well, there's an old adage in the game of rugby, Tony, that you never take your eye off the ball. And that was Harbour's crime. Rennie Ranger, which is becoming a real feature of his game, is his ability at the breakdown. The turnover, he was the bloke that affected the turnover. The penalty came, he looked up, saw no one home for North Harbour, and just put the moves on. Pleasance Tate was beaten, and then the last line of defence was Arki Semple screaming across from the left-hand touchline, but he's not going to get there, and Rupeni Thau is the try scorer.
Great players make things happen, don't they? And Rennie Ranger, Northland's got a gem. It's effected brilliantly the turnover. Looked really courageous there to get himself over the ball, hold on to it, won it, and then just set off downfield. Rupeni Thau playing out of the Awanui club in the far north. And yes, 108 kgs right there, folks. Believe it or not.
Well, it's great to see him back playing in this competition, and of course it was with Northland, might be 10 years ago, when he first made his mark and went on to have a couple of brilliant seasons with the Blues. Been off playing in France. Not really required to stretch out for that. Seymour with the conversion attempt, which is not successful, but it's all tied up now at 8-all. One try apiece.
Well, it was the work again, as I mentioned, Tony, that Ranger did at the breakdown. And then a quick heads-up play. Look at him just looking around, looking for support. There's such good awareness from Rennie Ranger. Knew the defenders were coming and knew that Thau was coming on his left as well. So showed good patience, and Thau the finish.
Eventually taken under control by Scott Vesey for Northland from the restart. And Seymour on it goes to Ranger. With some danger out on that left-hand side of the field. Well, this time the defence is good, and some obstruction by North Harbour. In fact, he's called them offside, but it meant that Northland couldn't clear possession, and so they get the penalty.
It's going to be a good contest, this midfield contest tonight. And Seymour, have a look at that.
And hooking the kick, Ben Seymour. I mentioned before what a good job Ash Moiki has done for Northland in the last couple of years. He's off in France now, playing at Tarbes alongside Luke Devsich, a North Harbour man. Moulds with the throw, but it's over the back, and Harbour have got it. So a bit of a misthrow there, and good straight running from Francis Saili. Ram's got in though, and he's affected the steal here for Northland, and they could be lethal off turnover possession. Seymour, in fact, moves it on. Carpenter, quick hands to Rapini again. Back in field it goes to Carpenter. Pryor, and knocks us in. That's a brilliant try from Northland. Came from a steal, and there is so much talent in that back line.
Well, 2 turnovers and 2 tries for the Northland Tani Whatoni, and you mentioned how lethal they can be from turnover ball. And have a look out here, they moved it to the left, and it was a huge mismatch. Greg Pleasance Tate's defending. I'll tell you what though, he defended pretty well because he got an arm on Thau and Butha, but they just stayed in support here. The players in the blue jerseys are Tani Wha, and it was a very, very clinical finish. Look at that, Pleasance Tate. Tui Tavaki came in to try and make the spot tackle to end it there. It didn't happen. And good support and good finish.
Richard, in the North Harbour try, I talked about the width that North Harbour are keeping. Now, conversely, on the other side, because of the width they're keeping, Northland putting a lot of numbers at the breakdown and affecting a turnover like we just saw to their tries. So maybe North Harbour need to put their numbers and match up at ruck time.
So Seymour very close to where he attempted to convert the first try. So he's had a bit of a sighter, and that one looks better. And over it goes. So Northland out to a 15-8 lead, and I'll be very happy. You mentioned Awanui. They're watching on in the club rooms up in the far north. Two Awanui club men have scored the first 2 tries for Northland.
That's worth celebrating. I'd head straight back to the bar if I was there, Tony.
Well, the restart taken by Raikuna, but he lost it forward. Parinatai swings it away to Ram. Good, effective, loose forward trio here. And Murde moving it on to Mathilai on the right wing. Former league international for Fiji, Mathilai. And now Takulua with the kick down to Fihaki. Oh, he's made a meal of that. But so too has big Tom Murde. Had a long way to bend over to pick that one up. So a mistake from each side. It'll be a scrum feed to Northland.
Yeah, 2 in a row for Vili Fihaki, and it's just a technique thing, Tony. Fielding that long kick back in the number 8, back covering as a number 8, really needs to get his body side on, so if it goes wrong, well, he tries to, and then just anticipates it wrong. But the first one, he was just square onto the ball. On that occasion, he was trying to make that adjustment and then just didn't quite get the flight of the ball 100% corrected, Vili Fihaki. So again, North Harbour turnover possession, and Northland will have a very, very good attacking opportunity.
Yeah, and they've got that Fijian League International Mathilai hovering outside Seymour in the second channel.
Coming for Takulua, away to Seymour. Carpenter taken in the tackle by Zach Judge. Now Pryor. Manihira getting him onto the ground. Now Moulds on for Ross Wright, out of the rest of the game with concussion. Ram. Now Seymour looking to pop the ball back in field. Path was blocked, so he's had to take it into contact. Rupeni just loitering around that first receiver position, but they go the other way. Parinatai, who began his career with Northland back in 2003. Moulds going in a little upright, trying to hold him up was Manihira, but it's there for the Taniwha. Seymour to Rupeni. Trying to bash his way through. Gets a brilliant ball away to Meltzer. Boy, that was a skillful touch from Rupeni, and Northland, well, they had the chance to move it. And now they're penalised.
Well, Vili Fihaki, Tony, making up for the error that allowed Northland possession of the ball.
It was Bronson Murray who had the opportunity. Well, it had to go quickly here. This is Rupeni. This is the offload we're talking about. In he goes. Off balance. And got it away nicely. And Bronson Murray, that was the ball that had to go. Yeah. Just a bit awkward for him.
Good technique on that occasion. Fihaki, the tackle, made the tackle, effected the tackle, released the player, went straight back down on the ball. And now he's given his North Harbour side the opportunity inside Northland territory.
And they've gone for a short line out, Richard. 5-man. Jersey 4, Chris Smith will be a target.
Oh, didn't even have to jump. Fihaki, who plays for the Mahurangi club from a part of the Harbour area that was once part of the old North Auckland province. Saili, and that's a penalty.
It's Ranger again, Tony. He's just so effective. Just reads it well, does everything to the letter of the law.
It's the timing, isn't it? He just knows exactly when to come in and attack the ball.
Timing, and it's his ability to read it, assess the situation on his feet. Look, he's coming into the breakdown. Looks, that's me. I'm the second player in there. I can get over there. And then his ability to stay so strong over the ball. So guys are trying to clean him out. Yeah, and he's got good strength.
Fair argument there, though, that he was part of the process of getting the player to ground and that he hadn't released before he went with the ball. So Moulds been a bit of a problem area this for Northland. This time though, Tom Murday, the 24-year-old Queenslander, wins the line out. And they try and roll it away, and they do so. It's Bryce Williams, the veteran lock there. Looking pretty dangerous here, Northland. They've got it to within 5 metres of the line, and eventually the ball held up.
Well, their initial structure was very good, Northland, and then as they started to work their way closer to the goal line, lost their composure. The communication broke down, and Muddy Header for North Harbour managed to work his way in there and get his hands all over both Williams and the ball.
Bryce Williams, second season back with Northland after a bit of time overseas. Just have a look at what's coming up, because there's a lot to look forward to over the rest of the weekend. Southland Taranaki tonight from Rugby Park in Invercargill, and then a double header. Wellington Manawatu from the capital on Sunday afternoon, followed by the Shield match, Otago against Hawke's Bay. And then ITM Cup week with a full wrap-up of all the action. New feature on Sunday evenings at the conclusion of the last match, and we'll all be watching that one with a great deal of interest.
You can't wait, excited about that. Tony, Hawke's Bay, the opportunity to secure the Ranfurly Shield. Haven't had it for a while, since the 60s. So we saw Otago celebrate, and I've given them their dues. They've celebrated it well, and it's been great to see. Looking forward to heading down there tomorrow morning, and hopefully, Tony, making the trip home with the Hawke's Bay supporters celebrating.
Well, you speak for yourself. I'd spent a bit of time down in Otago. I'm pretty keen for them to hang on to it for a while, but good luck to Hawke's Bay all the same. Well, there's a free kick for the crooked scrum feed.
Yeah, Pryor was keen to get go. The wise head of Jake Parinatoi said, no, hang on a minute, mate, we're going to go straight back to the set piece here.
Well, they're going to have a scrum.
Yeah,
we've seen more free kicks and penalties for crooked scrum feeds in the last 3 weeks than we've had in the last 3 decades.
Well, North Harbour's problem is they actually took a step forward just as halfback Hall put the ball in, which exacerbated the issue.
Well, it is so random, isn't it? All the games that we've seen ITM Cup and even up to All Black level. Referees Chris Pollock even standing on the other side from Bryn Hall on that occasion, adjudicated that it wasn't straight. And so from one team making a mistake, dropping the ball, allowing a scrum, they get the scrum straight back for doing nothing.
Well, there it is for Northland. Takalua away to Seymour. Ranger was the man coming on the chop. They couldn't take him, but they've still got the ball. Floated over the top. Penny! And he goes. Number 2.
Well, how often do you see that? When the execution's not 100%, the ball bounces, the defence is overcommitted, because they were looking for the perfect execution. It didn't happen. There it was, look. Players in motion, ball goes to ground. And from one ring, Mathilai out wide to the other. Again, the bouncing ball. Saeli knew the danger, but boy, oh boy, how hard is this bloke to stop Ian Jones that close to the line at full flight?
Oh, it's a very costly, not straight put-in adjudication by Chris Pollock, isn't it? So all of a sudden they have a scrum. Northland, they get the 5 points, possibly 7, but yes, so strong. And of course, when the ball gets bobbled down like that, defensive lines get a stop-start. They stagnate. And then Rupeni looking hardly believe it himself. A wonderful smile.
Yeah, he scored a few on this ground too. I know he had a vintage night here once playing for the Blues against the Crusaders. I think at his peak, I don't think there was a better rugby player in the world, or a more devastating rugby player in the world. It's 10 years ago. He's still got a bit of something about him, hasn't he?
Oh, that's right. He did right though, Tony. Gee, he scored some very, very impressive tries.
Now Seymour, he's had a bit of practice from out that side. 1 hit and 2 misses. So 20-8, third try for Northland, second scored by Rupeni Thautau Mbutha, and that's a handy lead for the Taniwha. North Harbour, who started so well, got the first try of the game, and for once it looked like they weren't going to concede a big early lead. Now they find themselves yet again chasing the game. Penalty to Northland. And that's starting to become a bit of a problem too for Harbour. That's the 6th penalty that they've conceded in the first half.
Yeah, just unfortunately, Tony, I mean, there's never a good time to give away a penalty, but they've all been crucial times. So on that occasion, just had possession of the ball. Well, had Northland under pressure to clear the ball and then just give them some easy yards. The previous, albeit a short arm penalty, led to a try. So no doubt coaches Liam Barry and Alex O'Dowd will have that marked down in the coach's book to be addressed at half-time.
Doing better at line-out time too. So that's Tom Murday winning the line-out. Now Moulds. An effective charge up, peeling away, looking for a run was Vesey. They go to Bryce Williams instead. And now Seymour, who looks very tidy, slipping the kick through. Harbour back on their own 22. Just haven't had enough possession in the last 10 or so minutes.
No, they haven't. You did right, Tony. And when they've had possession, it's been in situations like that defensively where they've been forced to clear the ball, and on this occasion into touch. So essentially giving the ball back to their opponents.
So Glenn Newman has the flag up right on halfway. And again, it's a compressed line out. I've seen a couple of those this weekend too, the balk.
I think that just was simply a case of not getting it in quick enough for referee Pollock, Tony, and North Harbour will go to the scrum. Delaying at the line out. So clearly just a communication issue. They've got the replacement hooker on, Matt Mould, so he's been out there for a while though, so that shouldn't be the issue for Northland, but it's been a bit of a concern for them, the line-outs. North Harbour have won 5 line-outs, Tony, only thrown it in once.
So Bryn Hall, good to see him in action. He was a member of the Blues squad, but broke his jaw, I think, pre-season. Well, maybe it was in a club game just after the start of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, during a break, he went back and played club rugby and had his jaw broken.
Fihaki off the back, away to Hall, and a good fend here from Saili. In fact, that was Aki. Hall, and away it goes Awhiaki. Now Harbour just looking to build something. Did it to good effect early on in the game. And a beautiful offload away to Francis Saili. Now Aki. Parsons moves it on to Judge. Not a great pass away, and unable to take it cleanly was Francis Saili. Ranger was away, but the referee's come back. There was a knock on, and a nice little bit of byplay there between Tuitavaki and Rennie Ranger. They were quite keen to head off to the tunnel, but Chris Pollock decided we'll have one more scrum.
Well, big scrum too it is for North Harbour. Hooter's gone, so it'll be last possession before they head into the tunnel. It's a very good situation for them. So they've got options left and right. They've gone the 4-2 split. 4 players heading out to the left. The Saeliaki combination is part of that group out to the left. So they need the good platform. There they are. They're probably the clear and present danger to the Northland defensive system.
Well, they'd dearly love a try. Try before half-time could make the world of difference. And the amount of weight they'll feel on their shoulders going into the changing room. Fihaki off the back. They go to the right. Hall tries a kick. And tearing after this is Tui Tavaki, but the ball's going to beat them into touch. So that's half-time at North Harbour Stadium. Harbour making a good start, getting the early try through Jordan Manihira, but then Northland hitting back with 3, including 2 to Rapeni Thalthau. They lead it 20-8. And let's hear from Ben Seymour, who's down with Ian Jones.
Well, Ben, this team, you've got some real stroke power out wide and you've used it to good effect.
Yeah, that's probably one of our positives. Just holding on to the ball will be another key positive there, or something that we need to take into the second half.
Thanks very much. Come to Sheds.
Well, the Taniwha, they're going pretty well. They lead at the break by 20-8. Well, it's half-time at North Harbour Stadium, and some of the junior players taking part in the club relay as we have a look at the scoring. It was all good early on for North Harbour. That Manihira try was a beauty, and they led, but then Northland have come storming back. 2 tries to Rapeni Thalthau, won by Fidia Meltzer. As we take a look, this was a really good concentrated build-up here from North Harbour. Richard, they kept the ball alive and rewarded in the end.
Yeah, they did through multiple phases, 16 phases. Good continuity, good go forward, and then eventually it came out to the left and Money Header opened the scoring, so it was the good start that they needed and wanted so desperately, North Harbour. And then Northland, as they want to do, Tony, Rennie Ranger affected the turnover at the breakdown. The penalty looked up, so no one home for North Harbour, took the quick tap, and that man foul. Just a stroll, a gentle stroll.
Yes, it all changed in the blink of an eye. Northland under pressure. Rennie Ranger won the penalty, turnover, took the tap, away they went, and Rapeni very much involved in the second as well. Pryor in good support, and it was Fidia Meltzer who dropped his opening ball of the game, but coming back nicely to score that second try. The third one, well, it almost came unstuck, but in the end finished off nicely.
Yeah, it was the bouncing ball that got North Harbour defensive system into trouble, but that man so hard to stop, that close to the line.
Back to his old ways, scoring tries. Rapeni Thauthau, Liam Barry with another deficit to overcome in the Harbour changing room as we have a look at the stats from the first half, just highlighting one or two of the problems that Harbour have had, allowing Northland the possession that they need to ignite that talented backline. Yeah,
that's right. We've talked about that. Both sides bring plenty of talent into this game, but looking through the stats for the story territory, well, Northland, they've shared possession pretty much, but Northland have enjoyed it in the right part of the field. But firstly, an issue for North Harbour, breakdown infringement. So they're giving away too many penalties at the breakdown. One of them led to a try. They don't want that trend to continue, but there is a positive for North Harbour and North Harbour fans. They are just so effective at the line out. North Harbour, they've only thrown the ball in once, Tony, and they've won 5 lineouts.
Northland look to be sorting a few line-out problems out towards the end. There's Darren Whitcomb, who's coaching, former All Black hooker, assisted by George Cornier this season. And they're in front at half-time. 3 tries to 1. It's 20-8.
Good effect.
Yeah, that's probably one of our positives. Just
So we don't deserve to be anywhere near the league.
So another tough challenge ahead of North Harbour in the second half here at Albany. Let's hear from their coach, Liam Barry.
Well, Liam, you find your team under the pump again at half-time. What was the message for the second half?
Oh, we're playing some dumb footy, mate. We're not disciplined. Players aren't respecting the ball. We're not building phases and controlling possession when we have it. So we don't deserve to be anywhere near the lead.
Penalties are becoming an issue. How can you change that?
Yeah, we've given away 8 penalties. There's some selfish play by some individuals that is not working as a team. So we'll see if they rectify it.
Thanks for your time.
Well, it sounds like a coach near the end of his tether, Liam Barry.
Yep, you can just see it in his face, Tony.
Well, as we mentioned, really difficult start to the season. They're going to play Auckland first up, then Counties Manukau, of course, up in the Premiership now, and then Wellington in a short space of time, and then on to Northland.
When they go next week, that's a word. If we win next week, we should go to 6 points.
But they really have contributed to their own situation here. They get the ball back from the kickoff, though. And let's see if they can make a good start to the second half. Otherwise, I think the coach might have the shepherd's crook out fairly early. And the penalty at the breakdown for not rolling away, it's gone against Bryce Williams, who rather wearily gets himself back to his feet.
He thought he got away with it too.
Yes,
Bryce Williams.
Bit of a delay, wasn't there?
Not so. So Harbour here will take the easy meters.
Cody Ray just poking it down the touchline.
So he fixed the tackle here, Williams. They try and recycle the ball. Harbour, he just gives it the lazy leg. Chris Pollock says, nah, gotcha.
So Parsons finds Smith, who's such an efficient line out forward. He's not the biggest lock in the world, but he's very good at winning possession at the set piece. Away it goes to Cody Ray. The double pump. Raikuna across from the left wing and through the first tackle too. There for Hall. Flat ball away to Tuitavaki. Jinking and making some inroads. Carpenter nails him in the tackle. Finau. There for Hall. Nice dive pass away. Ranger getting out in defence. And they come forward again, and it's Raikuna close to the line. Right on the line for Harbour, and it's still there for them too. Can't get it over. Hall calling runners up. Afiaki puts his head down. He can't get it over the stripe. They have another go. Pleasance Tate close, but still not over. Hands all over the ball. They might have to go wide. Parsons is calling for it. Well, they go over the top.
Tony.
Well, this could be a try here.
Yep. They're just looking for a grounding and making sure there's no infringements around the breakdown, but we saw a try scored on the curtain raiser. So maybe the Harbour boys are watching that end.
Is the NFL season back on Sky, is it? The Washington Redskins must be doing their thing, jumping over Superman.
I was going to say, down the old Emmett Smith there, Viliami Fihaki.
There's a lot, it's a big question being asked here.
So it sounds like he's got a whole checklist. We're just getting his microphone sorted out here now. Here's the end of it. Well, there's no problem with that.
No, but he wants to see. I'm sure he wants to see what's happening out on the fringes of that breakdown, making sure that no one's been taken out. There's no doubt about the grounding.
Well, this is an important decision here for Harbour. They're looking for a foul play 10 metres out from the line now. James Slater, the TMO.
I'm looking for Ranger was running shadow here, so no issues here. So we'll just keep this rolling. So certainly no signs of the foul play there. There's a bit of work going on at the breakdown. Have a look as they get up. There's often something goes on when players are getting up from the breakdown. Nothing there. A bit of pushing there.
Peter, do you mind checking the radio antennas, just making sure that they haven't been fiddled with or anything?
Oh, Ranger's complaining, but I'm not sure that he's got a strong case.
No, the understanding is that you can only go back 2 phases. So there were multiple phases close to the line.
What about the other one?
Be Harbour's luck, Pod. I'll go back to something that happened last week in the game.
Yeah, oh, that's right. They can do without that sort of luck.
Scan 2, eh? Look up, boys. Don't all fucking go with the ball with
Well,
this.
just got to be careful how far back they're going here.
So that's one phase. And I'll tell you what, there's more than another phase in the lead up to this try. So there's another phase. Breakdown, phase 2. A recycle. A dig at the line here. So there's the 3 phases out.
I think there's another one ahead of this too. And there's a player down on the ground just there.
And there's the last dig at the line. They recycle it from here. Fihaki picks it up.
Well, anything that didn't happen in that corner can't be ruled on, surely. Unless, oh, well, I suppose if it's foul play, it's different to a knock-on, isn't it?
So there's the player on the ground there. There's the player. That's the reason the player went down there. So no foul play. Oh, so there you go. Well, Williams was protesting, so maybe that's what sparked Chris Pollock's interest.
Well, I think they're satisfied that nothing too untoward happened, and I think they just want to have another look at the grounding here.
Might have to put the try back on the big screen, because I think the crowd's forgotten what's happened.
Don't think we've got a big screen tonight, Carmo. We've got a very good scoreboard, but that's about it.
I must remember to bring my 42-inch TV next time. Park it up the end.
Well,
So he's mentioned the number 5. We know that much. So that's Bryce Williams there, Tony. So he's the boy we want to watch. So he's on the side. He's on the side. Gets involved. He's fishing around in there. Oh, there you go. So that's maybe what they were looking for, but there's nothing in there.
Surely not.
He's fishing around on the wrong side of the ruck.
Is he going to get Chris Smith here?
This is so.
Well, it's ended up with a Harbour penalty.
I've lost. Okay.
So I've just cleared it up with a TMO. The question was, no clear evidence a try was scored. So
What?
I'll adjust the screen because it's maybe not so good here.
Well, it's because they were looking at everything but
the try.
That is absolute arrant nonsense.
Well, they've gone back to their work here, North Harbour.
Well, Cody Ray's got it 5 metres short of the line, and Harbour will try again. Away it goes to Parsons. He's held up just short of the line. Good work on defence from Thauthau. Pleasance take over the ball. This time they've got it. Well, they had to do it twice. But in the end, Greg Pleasance-Tate has scored the try that they should have been awarded about 3 minutes ago.
Oh, no doubt about that. But to their credit, Harbour, they didn't dwell on it. They went straight back to their work.
Well, it makes it easy when you take the TMO out of the situation sometimes, doesn't it, lads? Up and over. The try line, Jen, Parsons good.
The big boys working hard here, Camo. That was the key. And then Pleasance-Tate, there he goes, just arriving there, gets a hand on the ball. And on the dot, you're dead right, no TMO needed. Pollock in great position.
Well, the try's been scored. It's 20-13. Greg Pleasance-Tate, the man who scored it, Cody Ray, can't convert. But North Harbour get first points of the second half. Let's just have a look at the original try.
So that's where the no clear evidence, the TMO is saying
the no
there's
clear
no try
evidence I'm talking
there.
about.
Also, we looked at
That's the
47
debate.
replays, Camo, and that was the first one. Anyway.
Well, Nafi Tuitavaki runs it back. And Harbour will feel that in the end justice has been done, but it took an awfully long time for it to happen. Now, Rupeni Thautau, the little chip and chase, and he's gone. Oh, he couldn't take it in, but referee's whistle's gone. Harbour players in front of the kicker. And so it's a penalty and straight away a chance for Northland to restore some of their lead.
I've got a question for you, Ian. If you're North Harbour and you've got such an efficient and effective line-out, why are you kicking to the middle of the field, asking Northland to counter-attack?
Especially when you know they got a potent back three attacking like these guys. Well, I think they got such a rev up in the changing sheds from Liam Barry. I think they're probably scared to do anything out there. He was honest, wasn't he? Great to see a coach like that.
So Ben Seymour's going to have a shot at goal. So the penalty we think was for players coming up in front of the kick. And here's the kick from Francis Saili, and you can see those North Harbour players, they were 10 metres in front of him and just kept running forward, and that is pretty basic stuff.
Yep.
And that's the sort of reason, that's the reason why Liam Barry doesn't have as much hair as he used to.
Yes. Mind you, to be fair, I don't see too many coaches with a lot of hair, Tony.
So Seymour chips it goalward, strikes it nicely, over it goes. 10-point advantage to Northland.
Yeah, so you mentioned Coach Liam Barry said there was some, well, he referred to them as some selfish errors happening out there. And that was just lazy from forwards getting up from a set piece and choosing not to go back. And it's cost them points immediately after scoring points.
It was a challenging restart from Cody Ray, but Murday has done well, and then a mistake. The ball just booted straight into touch by Sonatani Takolua. So Harbour will get a line-out throw, midway 22 and halfway.
Takalua has been learning all about the Tony Farm, North Auckland, Northland rugby as far back as you like, Tony. Living now with Charles Going, one of the greats.
I'm sure he's been giving him a good listening to.
Centurion for Northland, or North Auckland when he was playing.
A member of that very famous family. Iconic family in Northland rugby.
Tell you what, he'd be eating well too. Charles Goh makes a good roast, Camo.
Oh boy, a bit of a misread on the kick through there from Daniel Hawkins, who's on the field for Northland, and he's been carted out over the touchline.
Oh, good pressure. David Waikuna hasn't had too many opportunities with the ball in hand, so he's had to go about looking for work in a defensive capacity. As you say, it was a misread, and Waikuna came through and did exactly the right thing. Saili loves the little stab kick. It bounced right. And then look at Waikuna, got on the outside, forced him over to the touch. Oh, got on inside, sorry, and then forced him into the touch.
So it'll be a throw to Harbour. They go to the front. Parsons! Well, he wants confirmation, which I'm sure will cause some frustration in the Harbour coaching box. But James Parsons is absolutely certain he's over here.
Well, he's a week in, week out player for North Harbour.
Close.
Is James Parsons, Tony. And have a look at that. It's the old training move.
The question is, has it gone 5? That's what they'll have to rule on.
They're going to come from another angle. Here we go. This will tell us. Yep.
The ball
Well
has
done.
to travel 5.
Yeah, Jordan Moneyhera did well. And this is the byproduct, Tony, of having a go-to guy like Chris Smith in your line-out, where the tries awarded, where the opposition know that 9 times out of 10, they're going to throw the ball to that one guy, and that's exactly what happened on that occasion. Smith did a lot of calling, did a lot of moving. All the Northland players went with him. Moneyhera stayed at the front, and the execution was perfect.
And the TMO is now very friendly with the crowd here. I'm going to say, when he started walking towards the monitor, there's some nervousness. Now they're all friends with our man.
Oh, Cody Ray with a chance to close it right up. That's a pretty good looking kick. It's over, and it's just a 3-point game now. It's 23-20. Northland over North Harbour.
Yeah, Rupini too getting some treatment in the in-goal area, just making his way slowly back to his position for the restart. Doesn't seem to be too many problems for Rupini.
So the restart taken down by Erwin Finau. So Northland right back in this, and Saili with the kick. Hawkins operating back at fullback, and that's better from the young man. Just a little misread on that kick across to the far side. It was an awkward bounce for him too. Now the ball's gone into the ruck, and it's been stolen and thumped away downfield by Hall. Having to go back is Pryor. Awkward. Pleasance Tate, whose work has been admirable in this game, leading the chase, the loose head prop. Back it goes, and Seymour has not found touch. Aki waiting for it. Fires it across field. In fact, that's Aki getting the pass from Saili. And now Nafi Tuitavaki, dragged down by Moulds. Hall calling runners away to his left. Aki stayed in close. Finau hitting it up hard. Now Francis Saili holding the ball out in front of him as he runs. Pleasance Tate on. Nice touch again from him. Ball hasn't gone forward. And Raikuna now scooting down the left wing side of the field, just losing control and going into touch.
It's just gone up a level, hasn't it, this match? I think both sides frustrated from the length of time the decision took to be made. In the bottom left-hand corner, Raikuna there just losing control.
We're just waiting here for an injury. It's Erwin Finau, I think, or is it Moneyhera?
Moneyhera, yeah, who carried the ball into the contact, Tony.
Yeah.
Players down all over the show, to be fair to you, Tony. Bryce Williams just getting to his feet now. Proud day for the Carmo Rugby Club too. Max Sykes, jersey 20, goes on in the halfback position. Moneyhera's shoulder injury by the looks of it, left shoulder. Rupini's still struggling somewhat.
Masila hasn't got up from making the tackle on David Raikuna. He does now, so he looks like he's 100%, but certainly the greatest concern here is for Jordan Moneyhera.
Well, the rivalry goes back to 1985 when North Harbour were a new union. They won their first game against Northland. In fact, I think they were still North Auckland in those days. It was really the advent of the North Harbour Union and the fact that those clubs in the Mahurangi area broke away from North Auckland to join North Harbour, and I think that encouraged Northland to change their name. They'd stuck with North Auckland for quite a while because of those clubs in that particular area, and in the end encouraged to go to their well, I guess say the more accurate name, the more traditional name, the Northland Province.
Tony, just quickly, Derek Carpenter, jersey 12's also just come off. Warren Dunn, the replacement.
So Northland it is, bringing it out through Jake Parinatai. Long kick downfield from Seymour. And Hawkins it is, takes the mark. Fellow out of Queen Charlotte College in Picton. Made a couple of appearances for the Tasman Marcos, but now looking for opportunities up in the north.
I'm calling for the mark. Just giving his forwards a chance for a breather, but giving position to North Harbour at the line-out.
Well, it's nicely set up now, isn't it? And Chris Smith wins another line out. Ray on it goes to Fihaki. But the ball's been spilt. And away comes Pryor through into the hole. Dan Pryor, he could go all the way. Well, no sooner had Harbour got themselves back into the game, they cough up possession, and Dan Pryor, who is such a very good player at this level, cashes in. That's a bonus point try and a real bonus for Northland.
Oh, massive bonus. Harbour had possession of the ball, Tony, and yet another turnover leads to a Northland try. We'll get a good look at it here. North Harbour look on the attack into the contact. Finau's the ball carrier. They go to recycle the ball. It just pops out the side. And then Pryor just taking it into the contact, and that's weak from Erwin Finau, up too high on Dan Pryor. And as soon as he broke the line, they were scrambling defensively because they were all up flat in an attacking formation where the North Harbour backs, and Pryor really showed good pace too.
Fleet-footed loose forward. Try is converted, and it's 30-20. I think Scott Vesey might have had something to do with the turnover too, the tight head prop.
And two changes, Tony, to North Harbour's loose forward trio. As we see, Vesey, is he the jersey we're looking for? He's the man who pushed through and the try. Fihaki 8's off, Manaheri in jersey 6 off. Got Urin from the Maris Club, and Malachi Ravioli from Western Pioneers.
Fijian Italian.
Oh, that's brilliant work from Jack Ram. Pulling in the kick, and real surge back here from Northland after they'd seen their lead whittled away. Penalty though. Well, still plenty of time left in this game. 25 minutes to go. 10-point advantage to Northland. And an opportunity here for Harbour just to stem the bleeding. Kick down into the 22, in fact right on the 22.
John Elric also entering the field. Cody Ray, jersey 10, is coming off. Good goal kicker, this lad from the Takapuna Rugby Club.
He's had a good season at club level as John Elric. A player that's applied his trade overseas and returned home.
So Parsons with the throw. And first touch for Elric. Quickly on to Ravulo. Now Afeaki, Ram making the tackle along with Vesey. Now Elric has to pull down a high one. Takes the line on. Hall. Away it goes, Ravulo again, and good inroads too from the replacement flanker. Quick ball for Hall. Punching onto it nicely is Finau. Afeaki takes it on. Getting close to the touchline though, and over the touchline they go.
Yeah, nice work defensively. Northland North Harbour, mainly through the efforts of Ravulo, a Fijian international, making some good inroads into Northland territory. There's Finau, good recycle here. Ben Afiaki went on the pick and go, and Northland, well, they haven't cleared this.
Well, they managed to win one of their own lineouts, and eventually Harbour have it. And Semple setting it under a bit of pressure, but they've got it, and they've got numbers. Saili flings it wide. Now Aki. Good tackle made by Luke Hamilton. I beg your pardon, Max Sykes. And then a low pass that Ravulo can't control. Luke Hamilton on for Harbour. Of course, he played a bit for Northland. Here's a Harbour product, a live wire halfback out there wearing 20. But this will be a scrum feed for Northland.
Well, that's an interesting stat, Tony. Look at that. Northland almost making twice as many tackles as North Harbour. So North Harbour has been full of endeavour, but find themselves 10 down on the scoreboard. Clearly the issue with North Harbour has never been their ability to score points, Tony. The big challenge that they've had is their inability to prevent the other side scoring. So Northland got to 30. I think the best effort they've had was against Auckland, 27 points. It's tough at any level of the game, Tony, when you give the opponents that many points and say back yourselves to be good enough to chase them down.
We'll have it in again.
Well, it was a mistake from Malakai Ravulo, Tony, that put them in this position, but gee, it's had an immediate impact. There you go. Northland's first win, 1988. It took them 20 years to get the next one.
Well, they weren't playing in the same division for a while, were they? I think that's right, Richard, that Harbour were in the first division, Northland in the second for a while. Was that not right? Might be part of the reason for that.
They sailed through to the first division, didn't they? Quite well.
Harbour did, yes.
So
Northland will be hoping that Hawke's Bay win tomorrow, just like you, Richard. If that's the case, then there's a possibility that Northland might get their second Ranfurly Shield challenge of the year. Off the back comes Pari Natai, just running across the field a little and losing possession, but
yeah, not supporting his own run.
Yeah, penalised.
Seymour might have a look at this, actually. No win whatsoever here. 48 metres out, but he says no. We'll go the line out. Starting to function well, the Northland line out, Richard.
Better, Tony. Camo, it's got better. Certainly a work on for them, but they'll need it to function efficiently now. Got themselves in good field position.
And it goes, taken down by Murday for Northland. Takalua, who will have to play the whole game at halfback, with the replacement out on the wing.
Yeah, always under the advantage there, Northland. Ben Afiaki, there you go, there's the signal from Chris Pollock. Ben Afiaki accused of dropping the maul to the ground. And Northland just assessing their options.
So they're going to take the shot at goal this time. Just look to put a little more distance on it, want to close this one out. Very important opportunity for a maximum 5 points here for Northland.
And watch Afiaki right in the centre of your screen there. Gets his hands on the player and then just, well, he's trying to sack it, but it didn't do it immediately. So as soon as it moved off that centre line, Essentially, the Northland players fell over him. It became a crime.
It was actually there, wasn't it? He just let go of the Northland jersey, so he didn't get a good grip. They tripped over him like a judderbar. And this is a great opportunity. Extended out to 13 points. 18 and a half to go.
So Seymour. And can't convert the try. So just reminding you of that situation that's taken place in the Northland backline with Rupini Thao off. Max Sykes is on in 20. He's the replacement halfback, but he's playing on the wing. And he might be in the action too, as Rennie Ranger changes direction and sets it up on halfway. Seymour looking to drive them back. So it remains 30-20 with 18 minutes to play. And this is Hamilton's kick downfield. And a nice long kick it is too. There he is, Luke Hamilton. Beg your pardon, it's John Elric.
He's gone into his 10 position, his customary position. But Harbour looking to contest this line out, put a lot of pressure on.
Murde wins another line out, that's 5. And Ram. So Takalua floating the kick down, and Harbour with an opportunity to drive it deep. Hawkins coming across for Northland, just watches it go into touch.
Well, it wasn't deep enough, Tony. That kick from Semple. We've been looking to drive it closer, if not into the Northland 22. But out, so they'll get up and challenge at this line out, North Harbour.
And Williams wins the line out, Bryce Williams. Takalua, away it goes, Seymour putting it high and taken down by Semple. Tui Tavaki, kick is charged and bouncing, well, was initially kindly for Harbour, but Northland have got it back. Finau unable to tidy it up, and so here come Northland again. Hawkins moves it on, Seymour puts the kick out to the wing, Mathilai after it, and eventually it's ferried across the dead ball line by Peter Arkey. It'll be a dropout from the 22.
Gee, they're very good though, aren't they, Northland, when they sense an opportunity to push back, sense a turnover, they get big numbers there, the energy levels come up, the commitment levels are through the roof. Very good.
Elric with the restart. Hawkins now swings it across to Ranger. Tries to bust his way through and ends up, oh, that's dangerous. And he's hurt too, Rennie Ranger, and someone could be in a bit of trouble here. It's the blind, it's the open side flanker, Zach Judge, who's picked him up, and he has not set him down safely. And he's gone to the bin. That, in fact, it may be a red. It's a red card, confirming that that is a red card for Zach Judge. First red card of the ITM Cup to Zach Judge. He looks distraught by it, but, well, he picked Rennie Ranger up. And once they do that, it's the responsibility of the tackling player to set him down safely. He certainly did not do that. Ranger driven to the ground, and so Harbour's woes are compounded. They'll have to see it out now with 14. A massive blow to their chances of their first win of the season. Rangers okay. Seymour certainly got the distance with the kick, but unable to put it between the uprights. Have another look at it here.
Yeah, you did right. That's initially got him up.
David Raikkonen's coming off Richard. Tavita Lee, still at Massey High School, jersey 22. Wonderful athlete, this guy. If he gets himself some space, it'll be interesting to watch. And from, did I mention the Carmo Rugby Club? Bryce Williams leaving the field. His replacement, David Morgan.
Rennie Ranger, well, he looks like he's okay. He's just stopped another big hit from Greg Pleasant's take. Ball spews forward, and Harbour have got it. And they'll just have to throw everything at it now. Saili charging forward. Afiaki crunching onto it. Well, Tavita Lee, he's a brilliant player. Scored a try against Wellington last week, and now maybe an opportunity for him as Semple's up from fullback. And here is Tavita Lee. Can't get past Ranger, but the ball's there for Harbour. Elric, well, can't bring it under control. Referee comes back for a penalty.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's going to put Rennie Ranger in the bin here. So,
well, 14 against 14.
Yeah, just fishing around he was in an offside position. Tavita Lee had affected the tackle. He'd done the good work, had Rennie Ranger. And then the ball was rolling around. Ranger in an offside position. Starts fishing around with the feet. Chris Pollock deems it cynical. So, as you say, 14 aside now.
You've got to love his attitude, though. This guy's commitment, plus he just put on his behind moments ago, back in the play. Sometimes he can get away with that, Rennie Ranger. This time he can't, with the eagle-eyed Chris Pollock bringing out the yellow card.
Oh, not that close to the goal line.
Well, he's had another good day, though, hasn't he, Rennie Ranger? He's such a massive contributor to this Northland side.
Well, Elric, if he can knock this over, a converted try would draw them level. He has. It's a beautiful kick from John Elric. And so it's 30-23, and it is a 14-on-14 contest, at least until the last couple of minutes of the game.
Well, and you've got to say that Northland have lost their most attacking, potent attacking weapon, Tony, and not a bad defensive weapon either, because of the work he does at the breakdowns, Rennie Ranger.
And they've lost the one-man advantage, so really not the smartest thing he's ever done, because Harbour will just chuck everything at it now. Elric moves it on. Saili kicks long. Hawkins going across. Nothing much you'll be able to do with that. He's got a good left foot on him, has Francis Saili. He's taken the ball down the other side of halfway. And Northland will try and put some pressure on North Harbour will try and put some pressure on a Northland line-out that no longer has Bryce Williams in the middle of it. So Moulds, well, Murday's done some good work to help straighten out those line-out issues that plagued them in the first half.
Hands off, hands off!
And it's there for Takalua. Oh, big hit though by Ravulu on Pryor, and it's another penalty.
Oh, he's been impressive off the bench, Malakai Ravulu. Such an experienced player. Fijian international.
And they're going for post. Skip up Parsons immediately said, we need the 3 points, please, Johnny. But there's certainly a momentum shift with the crowd, with the team.
Oh,
in
good
defence.
shot. Good shot in defence, though, wasn't it, Carmo?
Well, Malachi Ravulo has brought some real energy and purpose to the North Harbour effort since coming off the bench. So Elric, who just moments ago slotted a superb kick from out on the sideline. No problem with the distance, and it's over. Another one for John Elric, and now it's just a 4-point game.
Well, the Harbour fans are on their feet. They've got a sniff, Tony. That's what they've got.
A bit of pressure coming on Northland again. Only thing you'd say is that every time that Harbour have got themselves back within reach, they've made a mistake. And Northland have been able to cash in. Again, they go to Francis Saili. This time not such great contact on it, but it's still, in fact, they're going to call that a pass back into the 22. And maybe an opportunity for Northland to take a quick throw.
No, that's
a bad mistake.
It's just exactly what you were saying, Tony. Do some good work, make a mistake, and then put themselves immediately under pressure. North Harbour. Northland in absolutely no hurry.
On the jumper, guys, on the jumper.
And Moulds, who came into the game very early on with the line-out throw. David Morgan wins it. The replacement lock. Their line-out has improved greatly on the first half, and now they drive towards the line.
No, someone's still in.
Pari Natai has it, and they can see the line ahead of them. Pryor's got it now. It's 5 metres short. Pryor comes away with it.
Move!
Now Pari Natai, close.
Move, hands! 10, hold it, slowing down.
And he's got the arm out too. Pryor has another go. Well, Northland penalty in the offing, but they want to try. They want to finish this off. Ball bobbled, so they'll come back for the penalty.
Number 10.
Yeah, they're always going to get points here. Infringement that close to the line, Tony. The referees will play advantage. If the try doesn't come, they'll come back to the kickable penalty.
Well, you've got to go back to that kick out on the full, haven't you? Ball passed back into the 22. They just needed to get it down the other end of the field.
Shot.
So the shot to give them this, restore the 7-point advantage. And they're looking for a replacement player there.
Yeah, it's John Elric, Richard, jersey 21. He's a player who got offside from the previous ruck it was.
So Ben Seymour, from handy to the posts, restores the 7-point lead. 6.5 minutes to play. They'll get Rennie Ranger back for the last couple of minutes. And Harbour will restart from halfway. Elric gets it nice and high. But Murday, who's been very solid indeed for Northland this afternoon, takes it down. And back it goes to Hawkins.
Yep, go.
Pass back into the 22, so couldn't kick it out on the full, but now scampering across field is Nuffy Tui Tavaki. Good diversionary run for James Semple to take a couple of tacklers away. And complaints there from Harbour. Well, they wanted a penalty. They're going to get a scrum.
Oh, one of their own players.
Scrum. Jimmy goes off.
Simple, I think it was, got in the way of the ball and not able to recycle it, so head of the scrum. No ball, North Harbour.
That man in shot, though, Jack Ram from the Kerry Rugby Club, from the Bay of Islands. It's so good over the ball, very strong. I mean, they haven't turned it over, and what Northland have done very well is just slowing down that Harbour attack and the ball to break down. Jack Ram, Dan Pryor, 6 and 7 can be credited with all of that.
Well, it's Harbour ball.
Crouch! Simple white!
Just calling out something to James Semple there.
Sit!
Good shove though, no penalty. It's a free kick.
Too much, really.
Went early. Someone threw the ball away. And Nuffy Tuitavaki has to go and retrieve it. And they're going to take a tap. And they give it to Erwin Finau, and they weren't back 10.
Move!
Hall snaps it up and has a little dart. Pops the offload away. Pleasance Tate, who's had a really good game today for North Harbour. Short side they go. You're in. Almost to the 22. Hall now. Pleasance Tate yet again.
Move, move!
Try scorer early on in the match. Harbour looking to snatch a draw. Saili breaks, fires it away, and Tuitavaki slides in. The conversion to draw it level.
Oh, finishing strongly. North Harbour has taken advantage of the fact that Northland have lost Rennie Ranger to the sin bin. And they've hit back, and they've hit back well here. And the opportunity, this is a big kick. The build-up was good. They recycled the ball quickly, North Harbour. And then Francis Saili, the big bust through the midfield. Tuitavaki slides it in.
Yeah, how smart was that play from Nafi Tuitavaki from the Massey Rugby Club? 6 metres out, sit across on the dew. Francis Saili joining up with the All Blacks tomorrow down the Hamilton. Saili, John Elric, well, boys, top point scorer for North Harbour Club Rugby for the Takapuna Club. Lines it up. Here it goes.
Oh, yeah.
The kick is a beauty. Oh, what a fantastic kick from John Elric. And the scores are locked up at 33 all. And Rennie Ranger can only sit and watch.
Time's off.
He'll be back on in a moment, but there's been some damage done in his absence. 2 minutes to play. There's the restart. It's too long.
Oh, we're going to have a finish here because Rennie Ranger will enter the fray again, Carmo.
He's coming on right now. There's the skipper for Northland, but that was a big moment for both of these teams, that kickoff.
Here's the kick again, worth another look. Elric has come on and he has been deadly accurate.
Well, their bench, Tony, has been so influential for North Harbour. The work of Malachi Ravullo, Scotty Uren, and the kicking of John Elric.
Well, Harbour have asked, I think it's Peter Arkey to come in and pack down in the scrum because they're a man down, having lost a flanker. So they've got to make sure of this possession.
Yeah, so they just want the one pass phase here, Tony. They want a good solid base at the set piece, then one pass rugby.
Well, both sides have scored 4 tries. So if it ends in a draw, they'll both get 3 points. But North Harbour, well, they're looking for their first win. Northland, if they don't take the maximum points this game, well, then they'll feel that this is one that has really got away on them. So into the last minute. Bryn Hall to feed the scrum on halfway.
Crouch! Fine! Sit! Yes! It's just a slip.
Well, frustration, I think.
The clock
There
ticks.
wanted a free kick.
Yeah, the clock ticks though for Harbour.
Yeah.
So that's their problem now. This has got to be the last throw of the dice.
Well, anxiety on both benches.
Oh, there goes the one pass phase, Tony.
That's Muthilai, Johnny Muthilai out on the right wing. They've had a few injury problems in this game.
Crouch.
They've already got Max Sykes, the halfback, playing out on the left wing.
Sit.
In it goes. Harbour have got it. And they're going out Muthilai's way too because they know they're a man short. Elric up in the line. Already Rangers stolen it. Back onto the field and straight away gets in the way. And now the chance for Northland maybe to run it in from out wide. Warren Dunn it is who's caught on the 10-metre mark. Ball was out. Pleasance Tate was awake to it. But they've got it. Seymour shovels it on. And Bronson Murray carts it up. So it's back to 15 on 14 now. Can Northland pull it out of the fire? A little snipe. And Rennie Ranger, in fact, it's Ram busting onto it. Northland again with players down. Seymour onto Ranger. Holds it up. And then takes the return pass and drops it. Now the chance for Harbour. It's Aki. Hall fires it away. Tui Tavaki. Saley flings it wide. Chris Smith, the man ranging out on the wing. Elric goes in to help him out. Tui Tavaki has it. Frantic finish to the game. I can tell you Northland are back to 14 at the moment because they've got a man down. Ravulo scoops it up.
Tackle and move.
Into stoppage time. Saley with a little show of the ball.
No.
Hall goes in to take it. Tui Tavaki has it. Brushes off the first tackle and the second. Over halfway. Ram tried to counter-ruck, but Hall's got it for Harbour. Now Parsons. Good work from Morgan to come out at him. The replacement lock. Well, Harbour have still got it. And Saley breaks. Aki smothered in the tackle by Ranger. Still there though for Harbour. Hall. On it goes to Tavita Lee. Ram makes the tackle. And drives ahead. Squirts out though, and Big Ben Afiaki's there to take it.
Tackle move.
Elric now turns it back in field to his skipper Parsons. What a finish. Lee now. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it. Ball's been spelt. That's the end of the game. And it's a draw. 33 all. Three points apiece from this game. Thrilling finish. Exhausted players lying all over the ground. But in the end, it's 33 all between Harbour and Northland.